Guys, so today I'll be finally telling about my Austin Mahone concert experience. I saw him December 18th, 2013 at 93.3 FLZ's Jingle Ball, and it was honestly the best day ever. I will never, ever, ever, ever forget it. And that was the second time I've seen Austin live, just in case you guys were wondering, and I'm seeing him for the third time next month in 43 days. So, let's just start off, from the beginning. When I got my tickets, I had no clue whatsoever that I was going to see Austin, because he was going to the pre-show, and I was going to the actual show and not, the pre-show. So, I had no clue whatsoever. So, I went to school that day, and, did my thing, and then afterwards, I went to Jingle Ball, and I got there at 6:45 or something, and I was so worried that I was going to miss the first act or whatever, because they said that it would be starting at 7 o'clock sharp, and by the time we got inside, it was 7 o'clock, and we weren't even in our seats yet, but it didn't start till 7:30 or something, or 7:40, so that's great. So, still, I did not know that I was seeing Austin that night, and so we go inside, and I thought I was having 300 section, because that's all I could afford, and I still, to this day, I do not know how my dad got them so cheap, because that's not normal. They're normally $300 for one person or something, but I got first level, which is section 104, row 20, which that is so amazing, because I thought I was getting third level, but I ended up with first level, and that was so great. And so, still, I did not know that Austin was gonna be there, and so we went to go get merch, and I got this shirt, and it says 93.3 FLZ Jingle Ball, and on the back it says the people that were there, and Austin is the second one. And I love this shirt so much. So, yeah, even though it's on the shirt, I didn't expect to see him. So, yeah, and so we, on the way to get my shirt, okay, I honestly can't believe this happened. Guess who I met? Okay, I met Alex freaking perfect, everything Constancio. Met Alex Constancio, and that was honestly just so amazing. I honestly cannot believe it happened. He's so perfect. He literally glowed. I was just focused on him. That's all I saw was him, and I'm oh, I literally could not speak. I'm oh my goodness, I was speechless. I'm trying to find the picture right now. So I'm I stopped. I did not even care. I just stopped in the middle of the walkway, and I'm oh my gosh. And so I go up to him, I'm Alex! He's yeah. And I'm can I get a picture with you? He's oh, sure. And then, so I got a picture with him. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to find it. It's close. Okay, here. This is my picture with him, and it's honestly so perfect. I love it so much. And so I'm I love you so much, and he's oh, I love you too. And then, I'm oh my goodness, Alex just said he loved me, and I'm can I have a hug? And he's sure. And so I gave him a hug, and that was the best hug ever. He gives the perfect hugs, the most perfect hugs ever. And he's it was nice meeting you. I'm oh my goodness, it's nice meeting you too. And, so he walked off, and I was did that just happen? I was shaking so bad. So, after that, we went back to our section, and I was looking around, I'm there are a lot of empty seats. Let's try to sneak down closer somewhere. I'm not saying floor, because that's really hard. I'm not saying really hard, but it's kind of hard. And, so we actually snuck, okay, so our original seats were section 104, row 20. Okay, and that's towards the back of the arena. If you look up Tampa Bay Times Forum, Tampa Bay Times Forum seating chart for concerts, you will see that section 104 is like towards the back of the arena. We actually snuck over to 101, row 4. Let's just take a moment. I can't. I honestly can't. Row 4. Section 104. Section 101, row 4. And that was so amazing. And so the show started, and I'm not going to tell about any of the artists because it's like Austin Mahone concert experience. I'm just going to tell about Austin's performance. And so when I actually realized that Austin would be there and I would be seeing Austin is when the 93.3 FLZ staff like came and said like, who are you excited for? And then they would like name people from the lineup. They'd be like, are you excited for blah blah blah. When they got to Austin, they're like, who's excited to see Austin? And I'm like, that means I'm seeing him in like probably an hour or like 30 minutes. I don't even know. Maybe 2 minutes. I don't even know. I don't even know when I'm going to see him. But I know I'm seeing him tonight and I'm freaking out. That's literally me. I freaked out so much. I was shaking so bad. I'm like, oh my gosh. And so when it got to Austin's performance, I was talking to my dad, and on the screens they'll like play. They'll be like, next up is, and then they'll like show a picture of who's next, and like they'll also say it over the intercom. So I'm talking to my dad, you know, whatever, and they're like, next up is Austin Mahone, and I'm like, ah! I started screaming, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like seeing my idol in like a few minutes. Is that even real? To be honest, like, I was so blown away. Like, I'm like, oh my goodness. I can't even right now. And so, when it was his turn, his dancers are like doing backflips and stuff, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm like getting so pumped up and everything, and then all of a sudden I can see him like off to the side, and he's like, yeah, because there's music playing to them like dancing and everything, and he's like, yeah, oh my god, he's so adorable, oh my goodness. And okay, so it was exactly 1 year since I saw him for the last time, so I didn't forget what he looked like in real life, but like, I was blown away because he looked so different, and like, I don't know, he just looked so perfect and everything. And so he came on stage and he's like, hey, baby, you're not my mind. And I'm like, oh, yes, sing it. And so he sung Say You're Just a Friend, Beautiful Soul, Let Me Love You, Let Me Love You by Mario, and Banga Banga and What About Love. So he sang 5 songs, and they were just so perfect and everything. And so when it got to Let Me Love You by Mario, I went like this, and I was close enough to where like the artist could see me and stuff. So I went like this, and I kid you not, Austin looked me in the eyes, like, he looked me in the eyes and pointed at me. I'm like, did that just seriously happen? I don't even know what to say anymore. And I'm like, tonight cannot get any better. But no, it did get better, because not only did he point at me once, he pointed at me twice. I did the same exact thing, and he looked me straight in the eyes, and trust me, I knew he wasn't looking at someone else, because I was the only mahone in like all of my 3 rows. Like, pretty much like the rows in front of me and like the 2 rows in back of me, I was the only like mahone going crazy, everything that was there in those like 5 to 6 rows. And so I knew he wasn't looking at someone behind me, because I could tell like he was looking me straight in the eye, and he pointed at me. I'm like, my idol just pointed at me twice. What is even life? And so then he sung Banga Banga, and that was the first time I heard him sing Banga Banga live. Because the first time when I heard him sing it, he he didn't have that out yet. Same with What About Love. So I'm like, oh my goodness, he's so perfect. And then at the end, he's like, thank you 93.3 FOZ, thank you Tampa, thank you iHeartRadio, and then and then he's like, thank you Tampa, I love you, and then he walked off. I'm like, oh my gosh, I already have post-concert depression, and the concert isn't even over, and I was like so blown away because I'm like, oh, what is even life? I was so in shock. I was just blown away, and so that is basically my Austin Mahone concert experience. Hopefully I'll actually get to have like a My Mahone experience, like where I actually get to meet him in February. Hopefully, I'm praying on it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have ever, like if you're a Mahomie, like this video, and if you have ever seen Austin live, comment which date you saw him. And so that is all for today, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace!